Spring is almost here. The days are getting long, temperatures coming up, the snow's falling apart. What a wonderful time of year. And what a great day to spend at the off-grid cabin. It's been a pretty snowy winter, and there's at least a foot of snow still on the ground. Although it's disappearing fast, these warm days and cold nights, you get a nice crust on the top of the snow. But you get in a shady area, you're still punching through. It's been a few days since Brooke or I used the cabin, and it's cold. Windows are iced up. Temperature is just the same indoors as it is outdoors. I'm ready for a good breakfast. We're going to make sure that the locals get their breakfast first. We get a lot of birds up here at the feeder. Mostly chickadees, which is fine by me. They're my favorite. I would have thought they'd have us wiped out a little more, but looks like they've kind of been taking it easy on the seed. Come and get it, guys. Pretty frosty out this morning. It's been getting quite warm, but it hasn't quite warmed up yet this morning. I'll put a little fire in the cabin and get it nice and toasty. Out at the woodpile, we have a mixture of pine and maple, and they're both bone dry, so it's easy to light a nice hot fire. And with this thin-walled tent stove we have in here, it puts out a lot of heat fast. It's easy to heat this place right up. First order of business is to get this place warmed up, and then coffee. Now the well up at the old farmhouse is 80 feet deep, so the idea of ever putting in a well just for this cabin on this property is pretty infeasible. So we just bring our water with us when we come up. Come on, Daisy. Good girl. Go lay down in your spot.
Oh, that's a good girl.
You're such a good dog. That's right. And you're fancy. And you're vicious. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a minute for that fire to get going good. Clean the windows off, warm the place up. By that time, we'll be ready to make a cup of coffee, and then I'll get breakfast ready for Daisy and I. Good way to start the day. Now today I brought up eggs and sourdough toast and good coffee. I like the coffee from Aldi's. Aldi's is a store that's got a lot of cheap stuff in it, but they carry a coffee that's really good German coffee. And it's cheap. Couple that with some fried eggs, some sourdough toast. I can't think of any better way to spend a morning. It sure was a lot of work to put this little cabin together in a short amount of time, because we started in the middle of November. But this is the payoff. You get to spend mornings like this with a nice cup of coffee, a nice breakfast, and a warm little cabin with a beautiful view. It didn't cost much of anything to build this cabin. Sure has been worth it. When I'm up at the house, I like to cook my eggs as fast as possible. I turn the propane up to 10, throw the eggs in there and make sure that the white is broke so it runs everywhere in the pan. As soon as they'll hold together, I flip them. But I don't mind waiting to cook them over a wood stove. Takes a bit longer. It's worth it. What do you guys think of that? Fantastic. That's so good. Cook a big egg for Daisy. Let that cool for a minute. Bet she'd like a little salt too. You know, what animal doesn't like salt? Give that a few minutes to cool down. Come on, Daisy. For a fried egg. Woofs are generally fond of fried eggs. That's a good way to find a woof in the wild. You leave a fried egg out and they'll come get it. So what's it like to spend a day in a 10 by 12 cabin? Well, it's a lot like this. Life is so full of needing to get stuff done and rushing from this thing to that thing, from one place to the next. It's nice to just sit somewhere for a day and get nothing done. Nothing at all. Sometimes it makes me wonder how much work we actually have to do, and how much of it we just invent for ourselves to stay busy, thinking we're getting things done, thinking we're making progress and moving the ball forward. I think a lot of things might be unnecessary. Sometimes the right thing to do might be just to sit still and enjoy the world for a day. Towards evening, Brooke came up to edit some video, and I spent about 15 minutes chopping firewood, because I burned everything that was in the box earlier today. Small cabin means a small wood box, but on the other hand, it's easy to heat. And it's easy to refill the wood box once you've used all the wood, which is what I'm doing right now. The chickadees had all went to bed by this time. Everything's starting to get quiet. Now what we use for power at this cabin is one of these portable power stations. You can plug them into a wall somewhere and recharge them, or you can hook them to a solar panel and recharge them that way. So when you want to run your laptop or charge your cell phone, you just plug it right in like you would any other socket. Works great. Now for staying the night at this cabin, we have 2 small cots, and we just push the chairs out of the way and put the cots on the floor. But the chairs are really the center point of this little cabin. Sure is cozy to hang out here. Listening to Brooke edit over there, you just wonder what in the world is going on. There's oh and dang it and squeaking and... That squeak kills me. About this time at night, the coyotes start howling around here. That's when Daisy's got to go outside and defend the homeland.
Did you hear the yotes? Is the yotes out there? Are they out there? Go get the yotes. Go get them.
Get them, Daisy. A day in the life at an off-grid cabin. I don't know why it would have to be any more complicated than this. Thank you guys so much for coming along and sharing today with us. My name's Dave Whipple, and you've been watching Bush Radical. Be radical, eh? See you soon.